At some point during this episode, I will be talking about Hulk Hogan and the whole situation regarding him. There was a comment on a recent video from WWCL for Life, and I thought he analysed the situation really well. And yeah, I just want to sort of go over some things I've already mentioned in some previous episodes and my thoughts on Hulk Hogan and this save. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is episode number 27 of our WWF 1993 New Gen series on TEW 9. I have not recorded for at least a week, if not more. I've had this awful cold that just won't seem to go away. I've had it for about 3 weeks now. It's kind of still lingering now, but I can't sort of go on much longer. I don't think I will lose momentum because I've got so many notes and exciting things that are going to happen. So I don't think I'm going to lose momentum, but I just didn't want to wait any longer to do an episode. So here I am. And yeah, episode 27, we're going to start off with obviously some pre-show matches from Monday Night Raw. And then we're kicking into the main show. And it is the first night of the King of the Ring tournament where we will have some qualifiers because that is our next pay-per-view event. Let's just get into this episode of Raw, shall we? Al Green takes on Marty Jannetty in the first pre-show match, and it is a decent pre-show match. Marty Jannetty got the win in 9 minutes 14 with a rocker dropper by pinfall. The wrestling rating was 56, 40 for the crowd, 63 overall. Nothing special. They did have great chemistry, which is good to see. A bit of a surprise, maybe. 63 isn't too bad, really. Al Green's a kind of nobody. Marty Jannetty's not anything particularly special. Don't really have any more plans for Marty Jannetty, but he's on the roster. Let's just use him. Bam Bam Bigelow takes on Glenn Roof, and I'm really happy with this result. A 70 rating, a decent pre-show match. Bam Bam Bigelow got the win in 6 minutes 38 by pinfall with a diving headbutt. The wrestling was 57, 42 for the crowd, and yeah, 70 overall. I'm really pleased with that, bearing in mind, Glenn Roof is a nobody. I think it just goes to show how good Bam Bam Bigelow is. And what was his rating? He got an 88, fantastic, yeah. They had pretty good chemistry as well, which obviously helped there. So yeah, I'm pleased with that as a pre-show match. And then finally, Jim Powers teams with the Nasty Boys to take on Skinner and the Natural Disasters. A decent pre-show match. Skinner and the Natural Disasters got the win in 14 minutes 2 seconds. Earthquake pinned Jim Powers with a running senton bomb. Jim Powers was the weak link. There has to be one. I guess it would be someone like him. 55 wrestling rating. 51 for the crowd, 63 overall. Nothing special. The Nasty Boys and the Papa Shango storyline did advance with this. I can't work out why. Did we have someone go ringside? No, we didn't. I don't know why that's advanced. I guess it's because the Nasty Boys are both in the angle. I think if you have two or more people from the same angle, the storyline advances automatically, even though, they're aligned together. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below if I am wrong about that one. Let's just head into the main televised portion of Raw. Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross open the show, and Jerry Lawler announces that he has donated one of his golden crowns to the WWF. It will be competed for in an annual tournament starting this very night, or this there night as I've written there. This very night with 2 qualifying matches. Following the qualifiers, the tournament will take place on the pay-per-view at the end of the month. And the pay-per-view will be named the same as the tournament, the King of the Ring. I just felt if you've got Jerry Lawler on your roster or on your payroll and you're going to introduce a King of the Ring tournament, Jerry Lawler has to be involved somewhere along the line. I don't want him to be full-on involved. He's obviously not a competitor. But yeah, I just thought it just kind of made sense that he's going to have some say in it. And I just thought, why not? He's donated the crown. Whether we'll turn that into some kind of storyline afterwards, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like the guy who's going to win it, or I don't know. I might think of something, or just the fact that he might sort of change his mind. And actually, no, you're not going to have this crown. I've changed my mind. I want it back. I don't know. I really don't know. But I just thought it makes sense. Otherwise, you're just going to have him go against it. And I didn't want him to go against it because I want to hold the King of the Ring. 82 for this segment. Let's head into the first match. Bob Holly taking on Razor Ramon. This is our first qualifying match for the King of the Ring. We had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Razor Ramon got the win in 9 minutes 2 seconds by pinfall with the Razor's Edge. I'm really pleased with this score. 76 is decent. Bob Holly is a nobody. Wrestling rating of 65. Crowd was 421. But yeah, 76 overall. Razor and One has qualified for the King of the Ring. We then got Gene Okerlund in the ring with the Steiner brothers. And he says, fans, I'm joined by the Steiner brothers. Rick, Scott, you've been racking up wins and defeated Atomic. You must now feel Money Inc. have to give you a shot at their belts. Rick Steiner says, what's next is simple, Gene. Money Inc.'s been ducking, dodging, and hiding behind loopholes. We want the tag team titles, and we want them now. Scott Steiner continues, no more excuses. We break teams for a living, and Money Inc. is next on the list. They gave us the challenge of Atomic, and we delivered. Money Inc. step into frame. They've come down to the ring. Jimmy Hart waving frantically, and Ted DiBiase says, now hold on just a minute there. There are procedures, contracts, and IRS says, and financial obligations that haven't been reviewed. And Jimmy Hart says, yeah, baby, and you don't just walk into a title shot. Suddenly, Sergeant Slaughter storms in, the president of the WWF, and he says, enough. I've heard all I need to hear. At King of the Ring, Money Inc. will defend the tag team titles against the Steiner brothers. Match is official. The Steiners step forward as Money Inc. back away, protesting. Slaughter says, no excuses. You're going to earn your pay the hard way. The Steiners stare down the champions as the segment ends. So yeah, first match official announcement for King of the Ring. Tag team titles are on the line. 74 rating. Pleased with that. The storyline gained heat. Lots of green there. Won't go through it all, but yeah, people performed well on the script without using the script by the looks of it. Sean Mooney interviewed Jerry Lawler. So it's a pre-taped interview in a studio. So we kind of have a sofa. There's maybe a coffee table in front with the crown that he's donated, on it. Maybe the King of the Ring logo is on a screen behind. And Sean Mooney says, Jerry, the King of the Ring is fast approaching. A tournament instigated by yourself. You have donated that crown to the WWF. Who do you see taking it home this year? And then Lawler says, who should win it? That's one thing. But let me tell you who absolutely shouldn't. Bret Hart. And Mooney says, Bret Hart? That's right. Bret Hart's a technician. Sure. But a king? Please. Kings aren't made by rule books and wrist locks. They're made by power, presence, and personality. And then Lawler smirks and he continues, if Bret Hart ends up wearing that crown, it won't mean royalty. It'll mean the standards have dropped. And then Sean Mooney says, strong words from the king. And Lawler then finishes off by saying, hey, I know royalty when I see it. And Bret Hart doesn't fit the bill. We are not having a storyline between Bret and Jerry Lawler. We have included Jerry Lawler as a supporting role in the storyline with Bret and Yokozuna, just to add something to it. I don't see myself using Jerry much in the storyline. I just wanted something more with Jerry Lawler to say. He's donated the crown. Who does he think will win it? Well, he hasn't said this. Maybe next week he'll have an opinion on somebody else. So don't think this is a hint about who's going to win the tournament. So what do we get for this? 59 wasn't great. I don't know whether Sean Mooney brings segments down. Possibly. I just wanted to use him though. He's still on the payroll. Yeah, 59 is pretty poor, but yeah, we've got a little angle from Jerry Lawler there. Brutus the Barber Beefcake takes on Damien Demento. This was a poor one, but it says it had decent reaction from the crowd. Subpar wrestling. Damien Demento defeated Brutus Beefcake in 10 minutes 43 by pinfall after using a foreign object. This was our storytelling match, and we also had Brian Knobbs distract Damien Demento. So yeah, the storyline between the Nasty Boys and Papa Shango and Damien Demento continues. Brian Knobbs just comes down, distracts Demento, but Demento still ends up getting the victory. We wanted to give Demento some kind of momentum. Brutus Beefcake just got no plans for him really, apart from he's in a tag team with Hogan, which we're going to talk about in a minute. 46 wrestling rating, 54 crowd, 56 overall. So yeah, let me take you to the comment made by WWCL for Life. I won't go through it all. Well, I'll probably end up reading it all because you know what I'm like, I'll waffle. I was looking into the Hogan attributes that I mentioned in the previous video, and in the 1992 mod, he's labeled as a selfish performer who eats up lesser opponents. Yeah, so we kind of know that he's got similar attributes in this mod. He doesn't actually have the selfish performer, but he has a mercenary, that don't work for me, brother, and there's another one I can't remember. I'll have a look in a minute. So yeah, he's not the best guy to have on your roster, and it could be a reason why his matches aren't quite as good as I kind of hope they might be. WWCL for life goes on, continues that, if you have him lose, it's going to ding his morale. He could cause problems backstage. That's all kind of stuff I'm going to have to manage. His contract is up in October. I do want to renew it. He is still a massive star. And as I've mentioned before, Hogan's stats are incredible. You would, in any other TEW save, if you had a guy with those stats, forget it's Hogan, forget the real life Hogan and what you know about him, what you like or hate about him, those stats in this game, if you had a wrestler, any other wrestler with those stats, he's going to be your biggest star. We can't not have him, but I need to manage how we use him. So at the moment, he's not entering the title picture. He's in a tag team with Brutus Beefcake. I do intend to re-sign him in October without the creative control, hopefully as some kind of pass the torch or backbone of the roster or just gatekeeper, just something that might allow me to get a few losses from him. Also, being in a tag team with Brutus Beefcake, we can give him losses without him eating the pin, which might affect his popularity a little bit. As that popularity goes down a little bit, he might feel that he can't say no to a loss to bigger people. I don't know whether that will work. It's worked for me in other saves, maybe with TEW 2020 though. I don't know if it'll work in this one, but if someone's popularity comes down, even with creative control, they feel, hang on, I'm not as popular as I was. I've got no choice. I've got to lose this. I can't argue it. Maybe that'll work. Maybe it won't. It's something I'm going to have to manage. If we sign him in October and he still is a pain in the backside and won't take losses, then we just continue with him in a tag team, keep him away from the belt, and look to get rid of him. But I've got to have the opportunity to sign him in October. Let's continue with the show. We are backstage in Shawn Michaels' locker room, and the camera cuts to Shawn Michaels adjusting his gear, and the door suddenly bursts open. Bam! Mr. Perfect storms in and levels Michaels, sending him crashing to the floor. And Mr. Perfect says, "You think getting counted out makes you smart, Michaels, knowing that title won't change hands that way? What a coward." Shawn Michaels scrambles up, shocked and furious, and Perfect continues, "You ran because you couldn't beat me. You know I had the upper hand. So I'm not asking, I'm demanding a rematch for that Intercontinental Championship." Mr. Perfect leans in close, nose to nose with Shawn Michaels, and he says, "You'd better not pull that trick again. Prove you're as perfect." I don't know how I've worded this. "You'd better not pull that trick against me." I was probably meant to say again. "You'd better not pull that trick against me again. Prove you're as perfect as you pretend to be. Prove you're as perfect as me." And then Perfect shoves Michaels back and storms out as officials rush in. Michaels checking the Intercontinental title and rubbing his injured jaw. So they both fought at the European Spring Tour. Shawn Michaels got intentionally counted out, knowing he wouldn't lose the belt. Mr. Perfect obviously is not happy about that and wants a rematch. This segment got an 84. Fantastic. The storyline gained heat. We used a angle idea as well, and that was a success. We then got a 3-minute video package, and I kind of named this a menacing video package. So it's got some of our sort of bigger guys, deliberately putting in Bam Bam Bigelow and The Undertaker there because those guys have been, very much at the forefront of the dominating figures in the WWF recently, according to commentators. We've got Yokozuna in there, the Natural Disasters. I put Crush and Atomic as well. I mean, they are big guys. I mean, they're not maybe on the same level as Yoko and the Natural Disasters, but yeah, I thought I'd put them in there. The storyline between Bam Bam and Undertaker lost heat though because of this segment, only getting a 60. In our token tag team match, the Bushwhackers take on the Head Shrinkers. We had good heat and decent wrestling. The Head Shrinkers got the win in 8 minutes 56. Samu pinned Bushwhacker Luke with a double diving headbutt. 58 wrestling, 55 crowd, 67 overall. I do not want to forget about the Head Shrinkers. They are future tag team champions, probably, and I don't want to forget about them. Keep them, keep using them. Once I increase the time for Raw, I can have more tag team matches. I can do a little bit more with the tag team division. I just don't think I'm ready to increase it yet, and also it's realistic just keeping it to this short. I think I got it for an hour and a half, which is actually still longer than real life. I think it was only an hour when it first started. Yeah, but the match is what it is. 67 overall. We've then got our news segment as Hayes introduces promos from Tatonka, Randy Savage, Doink the Clown, and the Nasty Boys. But we're concentrating on Randy Savage's promo. And he says, oh, yeah, Crush, you and your partner have been making moves. Yeah, making moves against the Macho Man. Making statements, trying to tear the WWF apart piece by piece. You want to prove you belong in the same ring as the Macho Man? Then step up. I'm offering you a shot at my WWF World title at the King of the Ring. But understand this, brother. This ain't a favor. This is a challenge. You come at the King, you better not miss. Oh, yeah, dig it. So Savage, just kind of a throwback to when he was the King, obviously calling himself the King. He's the WWF champion, and he is offering Crush a chance at the belt. This overall gets a 68, not spectacular, which is unfortunate. It means that the Crush and Randy Savage storyline did lose heat. The Nasty Boys Papa Shango advanced, didn't lose or gain though. Koko Beware takes on Lex Luger, and I'm pleased with this one. A bout that had good heat and decent wrestling. Lex Luger defeated Koko Beware in 7 minutes 45 by pinfall with a pile driver. We had Earthquake come in and distract Koko. So the Natural Disasters feuding with High Energy. The Natural Disasters, or Typhoon specifically, turned on High Energy, turned heel against High Energy. High Energy obviously not happy, want some form of revenge. Whether they think they can beat the Natural Disasters, we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, this match kind of served that. Wanted to use Lex Luger as well, give him a victory. I didn't have high hopes for this, but 71 I'm pleased with, and it does mean that storyline between High Energy and the Natural Disasters does gain heat. Gene Okerlund is backstage with Crush, and Okerlund says, Crush, in just moments you'll face Bret Hart in a King of the Ring qualifier. But there's also been a challenge laid down by the WWF champion, Randy Savage. Crush says, that's right, Gene. Tonight is just another step. Bret Hart's in my way right now, but make no mistake, I heard Macho Man loud and clear. I accept the challenge. At King of the Ring, I'm not just winning this tournament, I'm taking the crown. And I'm taking the WWF Championship. One night, 2 titles, total domination. So Crush then stares into the camera, jaw clenched as Okerlund looks on in disbelief. So Crush is entering the King of the Ring. He has a qualifier here against Bret Hart. He wants to not only win the tournament, so that'll be 3 matches on the night, quarterfinals, semifinals, and final. He also thinks he can beat Savage in a title match. Can he win 4 matches in one night? He has to qualify first. This gets a 66. That storyline has again lost heat. Let's see how this main event goes. 78, decent. You probably saw this coming. In an exceptional match, Bret Hart defeated Crush in 12 minutes 6 seconds by pinfall. The match was designed so the wrestlers could go all out and steal the show. During the match, we saw Randy Savage distract Crush. Adam Bomb came in to distract Bret Hart. I wish that was worded round the other way. Savage is the face here, so he would only come in to even the numbers up. Adam Bomb has come down to distract Bret Hart and help Crush qualify. So then Randy Savage comes down, evens up the numbers. But yeah, Bret Hart has advanced to the King of the Ring. Jerry Lawler, obviously on commentary, is doing his bit. Oh no, you must be joking. I can't believe. Oh, he won't win it. He won't win it. He's not a king. He's not royalty. He won't win it. Plenty of matches to go. Razor Ramon's qualified as well. Razor will beat him. 83 wrestling rating, 78 crowd, 78 overall. I'm pleased with this, particular as well. Crush. I always kind of imagine that Crush won't get good matches. I mean, I guess anyone has a good match against Bret. But yeah, I'm pleased with that. As storylines have advanced, none of them gained heat though. Let's see what we get overall. 81, yeah, I'm happy with that. Anything 80 plus is a bonus. Happy with that one. We gained popularity in 12 regions. Financial report, we made 157,000. Popularity recap, yeah, gone up in a few areas, none in the US, but that's okay. That's okay. Can live with that one. See you on the other side. Oh, an incident involving Jim Powers. Identified as a steroid user. Stern warning, negative impacts. That's a shame, but it's only Jim Powers. Emails, oh, we've got loads. Oh, right. Okay, cool. We've got some contracts ending. Bo Beverly, Brutus Beefcake, El Matador, Jim Duggan, Kamala. Kevin Nash has been, his contract's up for grabs. Sensational Sherry, Terry Taylor, The Predator, Typhoon, Vinny Vegas. Oh, Vinny Vegas is Kevin Nash. Drug test fees. Okay, fine. Well, I've got a lot to do. Kevin Nash, I was never a fan of Diesel. I've got to be honest, I wasn't. But do we? Do we look at him? Do I bring him in? I'm not 100% sure yet. Most of those, I don't see any that I won't be renewing. Jim Duggan, I'm on the fence. Kamala, just because we don't use them really. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, a lot for me to do. Let's just have a quick look at our storylines. We are still achieving, yeah. There's only one at Very Hot now, but it's actually not the high energy one. Or which one was the one? I think it might have even been the Nasty Boys Papa Shango. Whichever one it was, that's gone to extremely hot. And now Bam Bam Bigelow and The Undertaker has gone to very hot. It's okay. It's okay. We only need 3 at hot or above. So yeah, happy with that. Let's just have a quick look at the roster overview, just see if anything has changed that I can see immediately. No. Possibly someone's gone up to star from Well Known, but it doesn't immediately ring any bells. Like I say, it's the first episode I've recorded for a while. So I hope you've enjoyed that episode. Please give a good thumbs up and subscribe if you have. The next episode will be a continuation of the King of the Ring tournament with 2 more qualifiers. Yeah, so I don't think I've got anything else to say. Take care of yourselves, everybody, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.